I'm Ellen Stellian, the Midlife Empowerment Coach, and today I am thrilled to introduce Stacey, Clark, and Corie Skolnick. Stacey is the founder and executive director of Leap, Learn, Live, a nonprofit based in Fort Worth, Texas, which provides at-risk single mothers everywhere with free wellness-based life skills and lifestyle training and coaching. Stacey believes in the power of building relationships and is a developer and co-organizer of We Talk, a national intercultural personal diversity and inclusion program for women. She has over 20 years of communications and learning and development experience, a master's degree in education, and a PhD in overcoming adversity. I like that one. I think I have that one too. Corie is a former psychology professor and marriage and family therapist. Upon retirement, Corie turned to writing as a way to effect enduring social change, writing 2 novels and multiple essays on subjects as varied as anti-racism, anti-war, adoption, inherited family dysfunction, gun control, foreign travel, and more. Her first novel, which I love, called Orphan, was optioned for feature film development by the makers of Bull Durham, Tin Cup, White Men Can't Jump, and more. So a new option may be in the works. I need to talk to you about that, Corie, because I really want to see the book actually be made into a movie. Any case, welcome Stacey and Corie. I can't wait to introduce our viewers to your project that you're working on together, We Talk, Women Bridging Culture Gaps. So to start with, I would love for the two of you to tell us a bit more about what brought you together on this amazing project and what it's all about.
Corie, I'll let you answer that one.
How it came to be is it was sometime after the George Floyd incident that I was having a conversation actually with one of the new producers for the movie Orphan, and he happens to be Black, and I asked him, what can your white friends do? What do you want us to do? Because I don't know what to do. And he said, he thought about it, and he said, I don't expect that you have any racist friends because I know you, but it's not enough for you to be not racist. You have to be anti-racist, and you have to be loud about it. Mm-hmm. So the very next day, I was talking to Stacey, and Stacey was my student 20 years ago, and we've kept in touch and talked throughout the years off and on. And so we were having this long conversation, as we do, about myriad topics. And I told her, I related this conversation that I had with my friend, and she just took off with it. And I had this idea years ago about finding pen pals for women among different ethnic backgrounds and just letting them become friends, just organically develop into friendships that would change the zeitgeist. And so Stacey and I had this long conversation about it. And then 2 days later, she comes up with We Talk and took off with it. So all credit to Stacey. Maybe the germ of the original idea was mine, but she has made it what it is.
Wow, sounds amazing. And I forgot that the two of you have known each other for so long and have maintained a friendship. That's wonderful. So Stacey, you sort of took this germ of an idea, and what did you do with it? How did you come up with your concept?
Well, it was kind of one of those perfect storms, when you have all of the right elements that just come together. What Corie didn't tell you, she's so modest, but Corie helped me to build one of the first courses for Leap, Learn, Live for our single moms. And when I first started building the program, I was building it based on the course that I took from Corie. I always knew that I wanted other people to experience what I experienced in her course at Cal State Northridge. And so she came to Texas to help me hammer out the first version of that program. So that program, along with some stuff that I'd already been working on with relationships. I'd already been working on a book about relationships. It's a cookbook but it was more about men and women's relationships and how to make those stronger. And so I took a piece of that, which is the 36 questions, And I just threw it towards what Corie was talking about, because, we are in the 21st century and not too many people are going to sit down and, handwrite letters. But I thought they will maybe get on a Zoom and, chat with each other. And she loved it. She and I did the questions for the first time, and she knew, as she said, rather, we have known each other for almost 20 years, off and on, not always connected, because of course she was traveling the world, but we knew each other, or so we thought, until we started the 36 questions. And when we started the 36 questions, oh my God, we figured out so many interesting little tiny details about ourselves that we would have never known had we not done the 36 questions. And I have to tell you that initially Corie wasn't sure about it. She was like, she was kind of poo-pooing the idea, until I broke it down and said, let's break it up into 3 then, because she couldn't see anybody doing 36 questions in one setting. So we came together and we figured out what made the most sense. And we kept her letter writing portion of it, because we think that is probably the part that seals the deal. It's that reflection piece where people have an opportunity to look back and think on, okay, what did I learn from this experience? And, what did I get from this person? So that was definitely a key piece of it. And that was the beginning of it. That was her seed. So she got to see her seed turn into a flower.
Wow. So tell us a little bit more about who you're pairing up here. Just to explain, obviously I'm familiar with the program, and I'll tell everybody that I'm actually participating in it right now, so I can tell you a little bit more about that. But I jumped on it right away when I heard what these 2 powerhouses were doing. It's right up my alley, and I am very much enjoying getting to know Valerie, my partner in crime. But tell us a little bit more about how, who is meant to be? Who are you pairing up?
Well, it is a national program, but it's an intercultural program. And so we're pairing up women from different ancestral backgrounds. We have some very key things that we believe for this. Number one is that race is not real. However, racism is real. So we know that 99.9% of us share the same DNA, and we are all Homo sapiens. And so we don't go into the whole, what race are you thing? We go into what's your ancestral background. And so we pair people of different ancestral backgrounds. So most of the time it would be a woman of European background with a woman of some BIPOC background. So it could be a Black or an Indigenous person, or, any of the women of color. So you kind of don't know who you're going to get, but for the most part, we've been having more Black women and white women come together in this program, but it's open to all women. Any woman who wants to participate in this, who does believe, as we do, that there is, one race, the human race, and wants to see things go nicely between everyone, and believes in the power of women who talk together, they're completely invited to the table.
And what's very interesting from my experience just participating in it is, and surprising, is that the questions are not about what do you think about race or racism or what. They're really just human questions, to a woman to another, getting to know each other, getting to know what was your childhood like, or, what's your favorite day, or, so it's very interesting when you take that piece out. It's really not meant to be a political statement or a way for us to sit down and let's discuss, this very charged topic. It's really a way for us to see we're not, even if we have very different backgrounds, not just culturally, but in other ways, we have a lot of commonalities. And that's it seems to be, one of the things you're really striving for is for us to see we are 99.9999% the same, and that there are so many ways in which we are, we share, there's so much we share.
When Stacey says it was a perfect storm, I have to point out that part of the storm was her finding Arthur Aaron. And Dr. Aaron created the 36 questions, the original 36 questions. We played with him a little bit, but he has done this same thing hundreds and hundreds of times and published his research in the best social psych journals. And so Stacey's brilliance of finding that and applying it to this idea it's just genius, and it works. So you think, well, ask and answer 36 questions. That doesn't sound hard. I can do that. And it isn't hard. And it becomes easier and easier as you get deeper into the questions. And at the end, I love what you said, Ellen. It's not heavy duty. There are no questions about politics or about social differences or social justice. But at the end of it, if you answer these 36 questions with your partner, there's a profound respect for the other person and for where they are and where they came from. And it's so simple, it's amazing, but there you have it. It's the genius of Stacey Clark.
Wow, it's like a fan
storm of Stacey Clark and Corie Skolnick.
Yes, it's like the fan club. I love being here with the two of you, and your affection for each other is just so palpable. Thank you. I was going to ask you. So it sounds like the 36 questions originally were not meant, or were they, for this kind of intercultural exchange? They were meant for men and women, you said, right?
Yeah, I'm the queen of repurposing. I go shopping for content all the time, for my students. And that was one of the things that I found was Dr. Arthur Aaron's, his 36 questions, and they were for men and women. So that's the other cool thing about this program, is because you can take these same questions and sit down with your intended or your spouse and build a stronger relationship within, few minutes, 45 minutes to be exact. The way that he explained it was for relationship purposes, intimate relationship purposes, 45 minutes. Ask all 12 questions in 45 minutes.
Wait, 12? So 12 and 45?
It's 12 questions in 15 minutes. And you're supposed to ask all of them in one setting.
Okay, because Valerie and I took 2 hours on the first session.
Yeah.
Yes, about average.
If we were timing ourselves, we could have, but yeah, we just kept going. We didn't go past the first questions. I guess there were then 12 questions.
That's the beauty of women. We talk.
Yes, we do.
We talk. We can't not talk. That is one of the most amazing things about us, is that if you give us the right topic or the right seed, we can turn it into something really wonderful. So, Ellen, I have a question for you. What was one thing that you and your partner, your We Talk partner, had in common that really threw you for a loop? Was there any one thing that just threw you off?
Yeah, I described my perfect day. That was my turn to answer first. And she said, ditto. It was about, there were 3 components. I wanted to learn something new, connect with another human being, in a meaningful way, and get out in nature, like move my body. And she said, oh my God, exactly the same.
And that's mine too. That's my first day.
I don't know. Is it that general? I mean, it was very interesting to me.
That is my perfect day. You said it.
God, there you go. Corie, what about you? That's too tame for you, probably?
It's too tame for me.
Yeah, I thought so.
But I'm older than you guys, so.
That doesn't explain anything, but okay.
Can I tell a little story?
Yes.
So this happened just the other night. When we pair you up, as you know, because you're midway through the challenge,
yep.
We're pretty hands off. We try to send like maybe an email out every 7 days or every 10 days, just to say, here's where you should be. We'll see you in a couple of weeks, and let you go, and let it just be the 2 of you. And you decide what your encounter is going to be and what your relationship is going to be. And when you're done, we don't know if you keep in touch. We don't know if you liked each other. We collect data from the survey, and that's it. So you're on your own, kind of. But the other night I was on Facebook, it was midnight, and I was just checking I scroll and check where my kids are, make sure my kids are in bed. And so I'm scrolling on Facebook, and I saw an exchange between two of our We Talk partners on Facebook. And I don't, we have no way of knowing if they hook up and become Facebook friends, or they, follow each other on Twitter or Instagram. We don't know. So I saw this exchange, and one of the women was an older, like maybe my age, close to my age, white woman, and a younger mom, very busy, young Black mom. And they had, late at night, had this exchange, and it was affectionate and sweet. And I thought, oh my God, we did that.
That's gotta feel so good.
It did feel good. I texted Stacey.
It is exciting. We even had this past weekend, we had some of our together.
Oh, you're cutting out again.
Do you have a page open, Stace, somewhere?
Oh, I closed everything. The only things open is
you're just coming in and out. I hear your beautiful voice.
So Stacey also is too modest to tell you that she has books. She wrote the most amazing, and this is the first time she contacted me to tell me about her book. And this is years ago. And she wrote this really, the concept is adorable. It's like date night, movie date night for couples. And she picks a movie, and I think it was 10 movies, maybe 20. And you have to cook a dish that's featured in the film that she picks. Right. Oh. And then, so the couple cooks the dish, and they watch the movie together. And then she guides them through questions to discuss, like movie night. And I have used her book, maybe if I really like the couple, with a case of wine, or if I don't like them so much, a bottle of wine, for a shower present, or like an engagement present. And
we're gonna have to link to both of you ladies' books in the comments, because here we have two accomplished authors and connectors in our midst. So wow, that sounds like a great gift idea, actually. Yeah.
Well, that's how we started our friendship, was really talking about writing and talking about each other's books and kind of supporting each other. And then one day she started, I think it was 2 years ago now, she started telling me about her nonprofit. And I just said, I'm coming down there. I'm going to come down and see what you're doing. I don't think she was ready for that, but I hopped on a plane, like within a week I was down there in Texas, and she worked me. She from 10 o'clock in the morning until sometimes I didn't get back to my B&B until 10 o'clock at night.
Wow. Tell our viewers a little bit more about, if they were interested in doing this, like how it works and what, how they would get started or contact you to get started. I know I'm in the group that's going on right now, and you start new groups, I think, every month?
Every second Sunday of the month, we do an intro. And it's a Zoom meeting, so you can register through Facebook on Zoom, and you'll get a reminder to come. And it's always at noon Pacific time, so 3 o'clock Eastern time and 2 o'clock Central time. The meeting lasts maybe an hour if they go long, but usually we try to get them through in about 45 minutes or so. And it depends on if there's questions. And in the intro, Stacey shares the website, and the website has a really fine slideshow that we've refined over the months, because we haven't been doing this 8 months now, I think. Yeah. And so we learn as we go. We're flying the plane we're learning how to fly as we fly it. And so we change things and tweak things, but her slideshow is brilliant, and everything she does is brilliant. And the people at the intro get to watch. You have to do the intro so you know how it works. So you can't just sign up and not go to the intro. You won't get a partner that way. If you show up at the intro, in the intro, we ask you to confirm that you do want a partner. And then after that, we confab with a couple of the other volunteers, and we pair people up. And within a day or two, you will get an email from us that assigns you your partner. So it's an email that goes to a dyad, to two people. And we just say, this is your partner. and you guys take it from here. And then for the first week, we found that we really have to kind of check in and make sure everybody's found each other and so forth, because inertia takes hold, I guess, and people, kind of, and it's, you know what, I have a profound respect for every woman that has done this and that will do this, because it's not easy, we're finding, for somebody to call a complete stranger or to even send a message to a complete stranger and say, it's sort of like saying, hey, will you be my friend?
Right. But you encourage the meeting to be on video, right?
Right.
Because I've been doing it on Zoom, and I think you could do, FaceTime, whatever. But I think that definitely makes it more, personal, to just be able to look at each other and see each other's expressions. Yeah.
And Stace has a suggestion that the first meeting you have maybe meet at breakfast time if you can. Sometimes you can't because you're so far away, but if you can, or have a cup of tea, or like women do when they meet for lunch or they meet for happy hour or whatever, and they just, sit and talk to each other. And like you're explaining it, for you guys, it's been 2 hours. Your 15 minutes has turned into 2 hours.
I don't know how you do that. Yeah. And then it sounds like, and then it's kind of like you ask current participants to bring in new participants. It's organic. It's not like you're out there placing Facebook ads for this. You're really just asking everybody, hey, you enjoyed this? Who else might be interested in doing this, right?
And some of that was a safety concern. So I think at this point in time, we're finally getting a number of people that we don't know, because the first few groups, and shout out to all the founders, the first 20 women that did this were 10 friends of mine and 10 friends of Stacey's. And we just threw them together. And, but now, because it's each one reach one, we don't know where everybody's coming from. Oh. So, but we wanted everybody to be, in the beginning, kind of no more than 2 degrees of separation away from one of us. So we knew who people were. They had to be accountable, because we really didn't know, we couldn't predict how this was going to go. And even though it's all virtual, at some point when the pandemic is over, we can imagine, and we've already talked to a couple of people who live in the same area, and they have met up in person.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So we're still playing with the idea of, okay, what happens when everybody's not at home in front of their computers? What happens to WeTalk? So we may refine it and make it a one-on-one, person-to-person thing. And how great would that be? Wow. Where you can actually drop into your WeTalk partner's house and have a glass of wine with them, or a cup of coffee. We don't know. We're big dreamers, so.
I know. I was gonna, ask what your vision was for this, and it sounds like you're kind of figuring it out as you go along. It's not, you don't necessarily know how big it's going to get or how far-reaching it's going to be, but you keep doing what you're doing. I mean, do you feel like has there been growth in the participation?
That's one of the challenges. Is it's been a learning experience for us, because people will say, oh, what a great thing, what a great idea, and I loved it, and the feedback has been nothing but positive. I think we've only had 1 or 2 people who had to derail. Mm. And and we've been doing it since July.
Wow.
So but we don't know, and if we're nothing, we're adaptable. And we learn, and we're not afraid to change, and we're not afraid to do something different. And we welcome feedback from everybody, and we welcome anybody who wants to volunteer to get involved in some way and talk about how we could make it grow. So it's, the thing about it is, it doesn't, it's exciting.
Marketing.
We don't know how to do marketing, but it's free, it doesn't cost a thing. And it really answers the question that we started with, was, what can I do?
Yeah.
And it gives you a real sense of satisfaction. I did something a little brave. Stacey calls it the brave space. We have a brave space here, and it is a brave space because, you know, like I said, it's hard to talk to a stranger. So we know, though, after you do the first session with your partner, those first 12 questions, it doesn't take anything at all to make the second appointment, because by then, you know, you want to.
Participants are worldwide or limited to the US?
Stace?
Well, right now we were limited to the US because we only had access to the US. But, you know, if this thing flies and creates its own wings, heck yeah, why not go everywhere? Not only that, but we would like to share these tools with other people who might want to create their own We Talk wherever they are. So you don't have to just join ours. If you want to use our tools and start your own, yes.
Wow.
Because we would love for women everywhere to realize that we are more alike than we are not,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, no, that's a fabulous idea. Yeah. And I mean, at some point, if it grows big enough, it might be easier to have chapters rather than, you know, one central big organization. But you're figuring it out, and you're, you know, connecting women in a very meaningful way. And it's just so powerful. I want to thank you for sharing your mission and your vision with us. Just a really nice opportunity to have a conversation with somebody new, somebody who's culturally different from you, and open your eyes to just how, you know, how much we share, how much we have in common, and make a new connection, maybe a new friend. So I just love it. I thank you for creating this brave space for all of us and for sharing your stories. And I'm just so glad to have this opportunity to showcase what you're doing.
Thank you for being a We Talk Challenger.
Yes.
And thank you for this opportunity to tell your audience about it. And
we appreciate your Facebook group as well, because it's a wonderful Facebook group. All that wonderful information that you're sharing about empowerment, we feel like we fit right in there with a program like this. So yeah, again, the perfect storm.
Perfect storm, exactly. Well, thank you again. And and I'm going to remember to link to your books as well, because I think both of you are so accomplished, and I would love for people to check out the writing that you've done. So again, thank you to everybody for joining us today. We had a nice group here. Don't forget to check out the links I'll be putting in there. And if you enjoy these videos, please watch for more. They'll be coming weekly. And until then, be well and stay safe, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.